during a discussion with an individual whom I was coaching, I realized that this individual had a very high perception pertaining to his talents and capabilities. Now, this individual is not alone. Many of us face the same challenge where we perceive our talents, capabilities, and strengths to be higher than what it is. So, as I was having this discussion with this particular gentleman, I realized that he has the talents and capabilities. However, because of the point that he is perceiving his talent and strengths to be much stronger or greater than what it is actually, it's becoming an impediment to his success. In fact, as a part of the coaching intervention, there was also a 360-degree feedback which was done. A 360-degree feedback, which I'm sure many of you know, gives inputs or feedback from people who work with you, which definitely includes your boss or superior, your colleagues, your peers, and at times even your customers or clients. And of course, there is also feedback which comes from this particular person or a self-analysis from the individual who's undergoing this 360-degree feedback pertaining to his or her capabilities, strengths, or blind spots. Now, in spite of the 360-degree feedback report being shared with this particular person, this person refused to accept many of the points. He was not able to comprehend the reality, and he kept insisting that most of what was mentioned is not true, and he reinforced or possibly reiterated pertaining to his strengths and capabilities. And it took a lot of effort from my side to convince that he has to accept his blind spots. By refusing to accept his blind spots or his areas of improvement, it's not going to do him any good. So this issue is what I have observed that many of us have faced or are facing, and this problem is called self-perception bias. When we perceive our strengths or our capabilities to be much more stronger than what it is actually, or possibly we have certain blind spots or certain areas of improvements. However, we don't accept that and we tend to ignore that, which becomes an impediment to our success. So both these factors, having a higher view pertaining to our strengths as well as ignoring our blind spots or our areas of weakness, can prove to be detrimental for our success. So we need to be realistic. We also need to be humble to accept the fact that along with strengths, we also have certain limitations. The moment we don't realize that or ignore it, that's going to be the biggest challenge in terms of us succeeding. So that's one point that we need to do. Accept the reality and understand we have certain areas that we have to work on. And that's where self-analysis plays a vital role in overcoming self-perception bias. So there is no other method to overcome this bias other than self-analysis, and of course also reaching out to people whom you trust to provide feedback. So both these methods are extremely important in terms of overcoming this bias. So pertaining to self-analysis, having a very close look pertaining to your strengths and capabilities as well as your blind spots, and having a very logical understanding of what you need to do to improve is going to be extremely vital. In addition to that, reaching out to individuals whom you trust, who you consider to be your well-wishers, that would possibly enable you to get a very clear view pertaining to where your strengths lie and where you need to actually improve. Because people who care for us as well as concern for us, these are people who would give us honest feedback. However, there is one point that we need to bear in perspective. When we get negative feedback from these people, understand that they are telling everything out of concern. It's not basically to make us feel bad or to hurt us, they want us to improve. So understanding that and incorporating the inputs, as long as you're convinced that it's an area that you need to work upon, you have to assimilate that, imbibe that, and ensure that you work upon that to overcome your blind spots and ensure that you move forward to success. So that's going to be two of the vital methods in terms of how you can manage the self-perception bias. And once you manage to do this, sky is going to be the limit, and you're going to be achieving whatever you need to achieve and climb up the ladder to success. Thank you very much.